Good evening. Oh, excuse me. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are. To all the gray matter out there, the internet sludge, I like to call it. Um, People suffering from consciousness distortion, distraction. Anyways, most likely I'm going to get banned from every Reddit, subreddit, whatever the hell they call it. I don't know. I got banned from uh, off my r/off my chest for speaking not off my chest. Reddit off my chest is a place where you're supposed to vent. I don't know why. I didn't question it. I don't even read the comments. I don't dwell too long. I just record, post, and leave. And that got me banned. So that's that internet for you. Coffee. I like coffee in the morning. It's good. It awakens the soul. Let's talk about consciousness distortion. I am not a psychologist or a scientist, but I believe the internet creates consciousness distortion, which basically is, well, you ever heard the saying, I have a clear conscience. My conscience is clear. When you wake up in the morning and you have a clear conscience, usually you go about your day better. You have a clear mind. Life is better. And well, one of the reasons why I believe the internet is bad for you is because it creates a false perception of yourself. What does that mean? If you've ever tried to ask advice from the internet, from anybody online, most likely it'll do you more harm than good. Not only on a factual basis, but a self-esteem basis. There's a lot of unaccounted bullying going on right now, and I think it's due to the rise of gray matter, and I'll explain what gray matter is later. But the rise of internet addicted gray matter sludge, and they are basically when you go for advice, you run into this, and it's very prevalent, and so I believe that unless you are getting advice from an accredited book source or author who's experienced it themselves and they're giving you advice, I would not recommend going online for any type of advice. Again, unless it's like an accredited book source or something, because I've been there, done that. I've used the internet for 20 years, and it's just never been any good. I'm a slow learner. Internet bullying is prevalent, and like I said, I want to call it sludge tards, gray matter sludge tards. I mean, no longer can you give anecdotal commentary or an opinion or seek advice without backlash, unaccounted backlash. Reddit is a decent place, but still it's pretty unregulated, and I haven't really found any highly populated, regulated forums that allow constructive criticism. But for the most part, if you're seeking advice or you're seeking opinions or whatever from the internet, it's most likely going to be from a sludge tard. Internet gray matter is what I like to call it. So personally, I think that you're better off asking someone in real life, and there's a specific reason for that, and I'll get into it. A matter of fact, let's talk about it. Here's my theory. I believe that everybody is becoming an internet addict. Therefore, I believe it's zapping the dopamine response to a lot of people. I think there's a general lack of accountability of one's words and actions on others via cyberspace. Rampant. And I believe this is not only bad for the user, it's bad for the one giving the advice or the opinion and one receiving the advice and the opinion. I think the overload of information stimulus is causing us to be gray matter sludge retards. Sludge tards, as I like to call it, or gray matter, aka Kanye West fans, thus equating Kanye West to real music. I'm being a little bit sarcastic here, but that's a whole nother topic. But anyway, so most of this negativity can be experienced. Is, for instance, if you use YouTube, read the comments. I guarantee that'll be a quick way to ruin your day. So I don't recommend doing that because you know, there's just so much opinionated a-holes, as I like to call them. Opinionated, as one person coined it, sanctimonious opinionated a-holes. And it's very true, actually. When you're exposed to unlimited, sanctimonious, opinionated a-holes for years on end, that'll damage your psyche, I like to call it. It'll damage your perception of people and your perception of yourself. And God knows how many times I've sincerely put my heart and soul into commentary, only to spark anger and hatred from the opposing end and turned into arguments. Who needs that? Who needs that in their life? You know, and some people just they cannot for the life of them agree with this because they're addicted to the internet. They rely upon the internet day in and day out. Hours and hours of usage every day. So I mean, it's on our smartphones, 4G wireless capability, all day, every day, streaming consciousness, music videos, news, information. It never ends. The ability to leave your opinion everywhere and anywhere, anonymously, forever, with little consequence, no accountability. It's not like real life. If you say, hey man, you're an idiot, you have to deal with the consequences right then and there. The consequences of accountability of that person and the people around, not on the internet. The internet is just unlimited, unaccountable actions. Thus, we have incidences of internet bullying and people. But this is more prevalent than I think people realize. This is something that it's sort of like a silent killer. It's kind of like you know, carbon monoxide poisoning, you know, from heaters. I believe that this is a big issue that people aren't aware of. This is worldwide. This is global. Internet is becoming a worldwide global addiction, and I think people are not aware of it. Now, so ask for advice, give your opinion, seek advice, seek help. Don't do it on YouTube. Don't do it on Facebook. Don't do it on Craigslist. Don't do it on any of these websites. Reddit, I would say Reddit is pretty decent, but still you're going to get sludge tards. Gray matter, internet addicted sludge tards who they're just addicted to their own opinion. It's a symptom. And again, this is my theory. I believe it's just internet addiction, consciousness distortion, meaning it's just internet addicted people who are unhappy giving their opinion to someone without accountability, not genuinely trying to help them, but just for the sake of, it feels good to give your opinion. It feels good to It feels good to be able to type something knowing someone's going to read it, whether it's good or bad. So internet addiction, stimulation addiction, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. So internet, worst place to get advice, worst place to get information, unless it's an accredited book source or, you know, a type of someone who's been there and wrote about their experiences. That's my opinion. And if you want to see a large accumulation of sludge tard, the worst of the worst, if you want to see what people raised on the internet with no accountability and no accountability for their conscience, meaning running rampant, the most wild, despicable place of bullying, I would say go to the bodybuilding.com MISC forums. Check it out. Bodybuilding.com, go to the forums, click MISC, and just weep for the future, folks. Weep for the future. That place is... And I'll tell you something real quick about that place. There was a user who frequented those forums. He had social problems. He asked for advice. He was bullied relentlessly, and he eventually created YouTube videos and went on a shooting spree. Who am I talking about? Elliot Rodger. So again, this is something that is prevalent and needs to be dealt with. Strange as that is, I wasn't surprised. Actually, the bodybuilding.com forums, I believe they are aware that they hosted a bullying environment where someone actually went on a shooting rampage. Like I said before, reaching out for advice to the internet sludge, the gray matter, getting nothing but I guess what the word would be is patronizing back, bullying and embarrassment. So he went over the edge. These are people being raised as internet addicts. They have no, their only stream of consciousness goes out to the internet, and like I said, worst place to get advice. So yeah, look into that one. Elliot Rodger, Santa Clara shooter, was a member of bodybuilding.com MISC forums. And if you go there and all you got to do is just type the word Elliot Rodger in a post, you'll be banned. And they're just trying to cover it up. So once again, leave a comment. I will be sure not to read it. I don't read comments. I don't read opinions from the internet. See, when one partakes, one has to start a healing process. The process of healing from exposure to the invisible enemy. And the invisible enemy is internet sludge, gray matter, or brain addicted a-holes all over the place. If you don't believe me, visit any YouTube video, any popular YouTube video, read the comments, go on Facebook, participate in the endless array of posturing on Facebook with friends and family, or go on Craigslist and read the forums, and then go about your day and see if that's good for you. See, after you've read the internet addicted sludge, the negativity, see if that was good for you. So I'm not going to read comments. I don't read people's responses. I don't read their inbox. I got my inbox has 56 new emails. I'm not reading them. I don't need that on my conscience. So I think that's about it. I think I've covered. Again, I'm not a psychologist. I am not a scientist. This is just a theory of mine